This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's do one last question here. Adam wants to know, why do you think the Leagues of Nation didn't have more success? There was so much talent in that group.
And like I said earlier, I don't remember what the angle even was, or the explanation to the audience that got them together. Do you remember off the top of your head?
I don't.
And I don't either, but I got a feeling it was three guys that had runs, had done their thing, and now creative, didn't necessarily have anything for them. And they were impatient because they're young, they're healthy, they got a lot to offer. And maybe they just decided creatively just to stick them together. I don't know, but when you got three guys like that, it seems like you could give them the full throttle push, and it just never seemed that way. It was almost like it was just a middle angle with not a whole lot of time or thought put into it.
So Sheamus, King Barrett, Rusev, and Alberto Del Rio, the thing starts November 30th, 2015. So I guess right after Survivor Series. And they shut it down April 28th, 2016. So not very long, but so much talent, especially when you look at all the world titles those guys had racked up. I mean, my God, the year prior, Rusev rode a fucking tank to the ring.
You liked that, didn't you? That tank. You said that before on another episode. You dug the tank, right?
Well, it's just like
when
the company gets behind you to the point that, like, listen, I don't know how to rent a tank. I don't know how you would go about sourcing a tank. How does one find a tank? And then all those different soldiers and their presentation, and you're against John fucking Cena at WrestleMania. Like, my God, that doesn't feel like a guy a year later, to use a friend's phrase, they're going to cut his water off. He's the new guy. He rode a fucking tank to the ring. Like, you can't just go down to Tanks R Us. I'll never forget. I was at that show and lucky enough to be backstage. And as I'm coming around the corner and I see a fucking tank there, I'm like, wait a minute. What's happening with a tank on this show? And then you see the presentation, it's off the charts. And then a year later, well, we're going to let Shawn Michaels super kick him and put a sock in his mouth and take a stunner. And I don't know. It just feels like, damn it, we had some momentum with Rusev and then not so much.
Well, I would just say this. If you ask why. And this has nothing to do with them, but it has everything to do with them. When you can't find anything for Luke Harper to do,
yeah,
look internally. Don't look at the talent.
I really thought when you were going to say why ask why, you were about to say try Bud Dry, but I guess that's another time for another station. Let's move on. Let's get to the next match. This is what a lot of people are going to be talking about. It's the League of Nations. Kind of forgot about them, but it's Rusev, Sheamus, and Alberto Del Rio. They're going to beat the New Day, who are over like Rover here in 2016. Barrett from the outside would hit Woods with the bullhammer elbow, and Sheamus follows with the brogue kick on Woods for the pin. It gets 2.5 stars. But afterwards, Barrett talks about how there's no 3 men in history that could go toe-to-toe with them. And, of course, that brings out Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley, and Steve Austin. Austin gets the biggest pop of the show and maybe the year. People are just losing their minds, especially here in Texas, to see him. And then we get a little bit of physicality with him. Austin's hitting stunners and Shawn's hitting super kicks and Foley's nailing Mr. Sacco. It's a cool feel-good moment. New Day comes out. Foley and Michaels are dancing with him. Woods wants Austin to dance. Austin tries to dance for a second, and then he gets a stunner for his trouble. Fun little nostalgic moment here. I dug it, but more people are talking about the post-match than the match itself. What do you remember about this?
Yeah, I'm just the old school in me. I mean, those guys are good talent. Rusev and Wade and Sheamus, it was a good deal. I just think they were put together probably for creative, just to put a comma in those three guys because they didn't know exactly what to do with them. But when they can get a rub off of those three iconic legends, that's a good thing. I just wish it wouldn't have happened after they got the biggest win of being together. Beating the New Day would have to be the biggest thing that ever happened to those three guys, right? As a team.
Yeah.
Their biggest win to date. That all went away when you got them bouncing around for the other guys. It would just been nice if it could have been separated somehow, and at least get credit for the win before it all goes away.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.